Hi everyone, I'm Russ Still. We introduced the Gold Seal DC-3 at AirVenture 2017. We enjoyed having tons of people come by to see the airplane and say hello, but since we've been back, we've been getting flooded with emails with people asking questions about this beautiful, iconic airplane. This DC-3 was built in 1938. It was one of the earlier ones. It was built in Santa Monica, California, and it first served as an airliner for Swiss Air over in Europe. After that, it came back and flew for Ozark. Now there's another little interesting factoid about this airplane. If you've ever been to the National Air and Space Museum, there's a DC-3 hanging from the ceiling in Eastern Airline colors, and the serial number on that one is just one off from this one. And what that means is that this airplane came off the assembly line at Santa Monica right after the one that's hanging in the National Air and Space Museum. It's a big, large, heavy metal airplane, but they still used fabric for the control surfaces. We can look at the ailerons here, and these are long, thin control surfaces, all covered with fabric, including the trim tabs. The rudder is huge. It's also covered with fabric. We walk out here and we get an idea just for how large this airplane is, because the wingspan is enormous. When you're taxiing around, you really have to be careful that you don't hit anything. Wingspan's about 95 feet, so we have to keep our head on a swivel when we taxi this airplane. Again, to show you an idea of how big this airplane is and how much power it takes, these are Pratt & Whitney 1830s. They generate 1,200 horsepower each. We've got a pair of them, and again, as you might guess, they are thirsty, thirsty machines. They burn about 100 gallons an hour, but when we put it in cruise, we can lean it back to about 95, so that helps a little bit. Fortunately, we carry a lot of fuel, about 800 gallons. Now, when you think of your Cessna or your Piper airplanes that you fly in general aviation, we tend to think of oil capacities in terms of quarts. Well, these engines use 29 gallons of oil each. So again, it's a big, hungry, thirsty airplane, weighs about 25,000 pounds, but inside it's really great. When we take it to air shows and go places, we've got 8 first-class seats in there with all the leg room in the world, and it's a great way to travel. Again, talking about the size of the airplane, the flight deck up here is about 18 feet up in the air. So when you're taxiing the airplane, you really can't see much, and when you take off, you've got a really different sight picture than you're probably used to. You're way up, the nose comes down, and then you can see over it, but you are way up in the air. Now, to give you a comparison with the DC-3 with the general aviation aircraft, take a look at it compared to the 182 here. This 182 is what you're used to seeing, and just look at the difference in size of these two aircraft. This is a big monster, but it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, we love to fly it, and I can't say enough about how much the public enjoys seeing this airplane. So this answers a lot of your questions, I hope, about the basic configuration and structure of the airplane and its history. Come back and see more of our videos. We're going to be doing a lot of videos and live streams with this airplane on YouTube. And please come visit us at the #1 online ground school at onlinegroundschool.com. Good flying.